What is up? My name is Dallin Anderson, and I make videos here on TikTok and YouTube about the Holy Bible as well as the Book of Mormon and share personal thoughts I am having as I study the scriptures. So today we are in the Book of Mormon in 3rd Nephi chapter 10, and we're going to be reading here about riches and pride. So here in verse 10 we read, "But it came to pass in the 29th year there began to be some disputings among the people. And some were lifted up unto pride and boastings because of their exceedingly great riches, yea, even unto great persecutions. For there were many merchants in the land, and also many lawyers and many officers. And the people began to be distinguished by their ranks." Interesting. "According to their riches and their chances for learning. Yea, some were ignorant because of their poverty, and others did receive great learning because of their riches. Some were lifted up in pride, and others were exceedingly humble. And some did return railing for railing, while others would receive railing and persecution and all manner of affliction, and would not turn and revile again, but were humble and penitent before God. And thus there became a great inequality in all the land, insomuch that the church began to be broken up, insomuch that in the 13th year the church was broken up in the land, save it were among a few of the Lamanites who were converted unto the true faith. And they would not depart from it, for they were firm and steadfast and immovable, willing with all diligence to keep the commandments of the Lord." Now, this is interesting. They started to distinguish their people by ranks. And when this started to happen, then the rich became really prideful, and they would persecute the poor, and the poor would just take all manner of persecution, but because they were humble before God, they wouldn't fight back and fight evil with evil. So I really think these verses are interesting because it goes to show how easy humans, if we let riches become an idol for us, we can start ruining society. If we stop sharing our resources, if we stop working together, it's not the riches themselves that are evil, but it's what we do with them. It's what we allow them to become in our lives. Now, if we go over here to verse 18, it said, "Now they did not sin ignorantly, for they knew the will of God concerning them, for it had been taught unto them. Therefore they did willfully rebel against God." So they were taught that they should avoid the temptations, that they should avoid idolatry, and they knew what was right and what was wrong, but they chose to do what was wrong instead. And so when we do that, God is going to stop blessing us in the same way as before. But when we do actually give ourselves completely to Him, and when we obey His commandments, when we know what His commandments are and we're obeying them, He gives us that strength that we need to keep going. Not only to keep going, but to be blessed as well and to prosper while we're doing it. So God doesn't care if we have riches or if we don't have riches. What God cares about is whether He is the most important thing in our life. That's really what God cares about. So, yep, we just have to be wise as people not to distinguish ourselves in classes and to be lifted up because of our riches and the pride of our hearts, because it does create division among people. So thank you guys so much for tuning into today's little video. I hope that you enjoyed it and learned something. If you did, hit the like, share it with your friends, and as always, peace be unto you.